Anti-Afro Svengalis. This is an update on Derell Dempsey or Dempsey Derell, however you want to say it. Dempsey Derell is having an extremely difficult time accepting the fact that he's been busted, clean cold busted by the federal court, and he will be held to answer in totality. Because he's having such a difficult time recognizing this, he still wants to act as if he should be trusted. And, it really irks me. I'm watching the situation with federal agents enforcing immigration law, and you have these renter-rioters out here, and you have those who are illegally in the country. They don't want to face up to their illegal behavior, illegal activity. They don't want anything done about it. That's Dempsey Derell. He sat up here and did all this shit, stole this money, engaged in weaponization of the mental health profession, all of this vulgar, disgusting, and vile content he made in 100% opposition to every legal and ethical responsibility within the industry. He has violated it, but he wants us to shut up about it while he ran around lying. I don't care whether or not Dempsey Derell doesn't like what's going on. He's the one who engaged in the behavior. He engaged in the behavior, and there will be consequences for engaging in that behavior. He didn't even care when he was brought to task before. He kept stealing. So now only the feds can get him to say, hey, okay, hold on, I'll stop. But even then, he decides to use trickery and deceit on Judge Bennett. That's going to be dealt with. Trust and believe it will be dealt with. I'm going to put this on the screen here and let you know up front. What Dempsey Derell most recently requested from the court was granted. I believe this was granted in Dempsey Derell's favor because the prosecutor did not respond to the motion. So let me tell you the timeline. We have September 23rd, 2025. Dempsey Derell is indicted by the federal court, Southern District of Texas. 9 counts, 5 counts healthcare fraud, 4 counts of aggravated identity theft, specifically for defrauding Medicare. So that happened on the 23rd of September. Then on October 1st, the judge made it clear during the first hearing, Dempsey Derell was to close his practice on or before November 1st, 2025, and he is not allowed, this was the order, to bill Medicaid or Medicare directly or indirectly. Then came December 4th, when Dempsey Derell, through his attorney, submitted a request to modify bond conditions, specifically requesting to be able to continue billing Medicare and Medicaid through 3 different companies. One is called Headway, one is called Rula, and the other one is called ThriveWorks. So this was the request put in on the 4th of December. So we were waiting to see what the prosecutors would say. I was reading up, and by all accounts, 20 days seemed to be the rule for pretrial motions. There's always exceptions and local rules, but I was reading up on Judge Bennett's local rules, and it gave a 20-day window for the prosecutors to respond for pretrial motions. We waited, never heard anything. Then on January 13, 2026, Judge Bennett issues a ruling. Prosecutors did not submit any response. So the ruling by Judge Bennett, and you can see everything here on the screen, he granted the motion, which means that Dempsey Derell is being granted an exception to continue billing Medicare and Medicaid through these 3 entities. But when I was on Photon's channel last night, that live stream was taken down. I was going to play some of those clips, but I'll just go ahead and explain it. What I stated last night was, I believe this decision was made for two primary reasons. Number one, the prosecutor never responded. And number two, the judge did not understand exactly what he was ruling on. And full-time was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean the judge doesn't know? He's been doing this. You don't get what I'm trying to say. This is not an insult. Don't forget, courts rely on people who are considered experts. They have knowledge beyond the court, which is why they have an expert witness come in. They get examined by both sides, and the judge weighs the issue. Judges don't know how things work in all circumstances because it's not their field of study. Now, what I'm saying about Dempsey D. Derell, he is the one who engaged in deceit and trickery in requesting this. The ramifications are significant. I don't even think his lawyer recognizes what he did. This is deceit. This very definitely is trickery. And I'm going to explain to you why I said Judge Bennett doesn't understand what he allowed Dempsey to do. If you look very carefully at these three agencies, I was explaining it last night, Dempsey was ordered to close his practice. That still stands. What he managed to do is convince Judge Bennett that his practice is closed and he's going to be working for these three entities. People, that's impossible because of the setup for these entities. As I was explaining, Dempsey is not working as a W-2 employee. And how these agencies are describing their setup, they're telling you this. Look at RULA. RULA says, therapists delivering quality care in diverse network. They have 20,000 therapists that they contract with. RULA does not house 20,000 therapists, mental health providers, or psychiatrists, however you want to characterize the specialty. 20,000. No, those 20,000, they are considered private practice. Small setups might give certain select therapists special privileges, but 99% of the time that does not work out like that because they don't have the space. 20,000 have their own setup, their own office, which means it's private practice. And Dempsey was supposed to shut down his private practice. Judge Bennett identifies these as their clients, which means RULA, ThriveWorks, and Headway. It's not their clients. It would be Dempsey D. Derell's clients. And you have to look and see how they describe it. Look at Headway. Simplify your private practice. Private practice, Dempsey D. Derell's practice was ordered shut down. This wouldn't be Headway's private practice. It would be the person who's securing the contract. That would be Dempsey D. Derell in this situation. So you do see the trickery? Headway has 80,000 therapists in their network. So obviously they don't have 80,000 people working in offices that are Headway's offices. The mental health professionals are working in their own offices, and they simply are allowed to obtain clients from these entities. They bill, and then Headway takes a cut. ThriveWorks takes a cut. RULA takes a cut. All of the equipment, all of the phone contacts, all of that is the responsibility of the person providing the services, the mental health care. In this instance, it would be Dempsey D. Derell. Dempsey D. Derell is going to have to tell ThriveWorks, RULA, and Headway whether the client came to the appointment. What do you think Dempsey's going to do if they don't show to the appointment? What do you think Dempsey's going to do once he gets the names of these clients coming to him? Do you think he's going to continue to do what he was doing before, lying, cheating, and stealing? Or do you think all of a sudden he's going to be honest? He hasn't been honest the entire time he has been providing, perping as if he's providing services. He's going to be even more inclined to lie because he has to give a cut to Rula, ThriveWorks, and Headway. He was perpetrating in his own scamming ass practice before it was shut down by simply lying about people coming, by simply billing on dead people. Who's to say he's not going to try to do the same damn thing just because he has to let someone else know he's billing, just like those secretaries, those white secretaries working for him. He was telling them, bill this. I saw this client, and he was lying. Now he's going to tell someone else, oh, make sure you bill for this client because I saw this client. He's still going to be lying. How are they going to know? It's not sitting in their office, whoever is enrolled with these entities, except for a few specialized examples. Out of the 80,000, 70,000 mental health professionals that are networked with them, have a special setup, and trust and believe it ain't Dempsey D. Derell. Since we're talking about Dempsey D. Derell, so where are these services going to be provided? It has to be provided in an office. It's still considered private practice. This is why I'm saying the judge didn't understand. And it isn't like Dempsey D. Derell is asking the judge if he can purchase firearms. You know the judge is going to say no. I think the judge thinks Dempsey is actually going to be working with these agencies, and it's their program and their clients. The clients are going to be provided to Dempsey D. Derell. He's going to be the therapist of record. It will not be Thriveway, Rula's, and Headway's clients. Look here, Headway says, find stability in your practice. It's the same risk situation that Dempsey D. Derell has put himself in. He's going to have access to these clients' information. And now he's going to continue functioning with a private practice, although the judge has stated his private practice is supposed to close. Okay, let's take a look at ThriveWorks. They have something like 800 positions open. And when I say positions, look how they describe these positions. Fee for services, 884 across the nation. Fee for services means you're an independent practitioner. You're not going to be working in their office. You'll be working out of your own office. Vast majority. I kept looking through this. There were very few actual positions. And here you see part-time licensed talk therapist in North Charleston. That's the pay setup. That still means you have to use your own materials. So here's another risk issue. Something else that Judge Bennett doesn't know. When these clients are given to Dempsey, it has to be his setup with telephone, with video. So if you do something by phone and video, those have to be secure setups. You can't just do it on a regular cell phone. Video, the system has to be secure. It has to be HIPAA compliant. So whose system is that going to be? Is that going to be their system? No, he has to verify that he has that setup. So if he doesn't have the setup and says that he does, are they going to check? We've already seen how lax things are in Texas, and these companies are hiring people from all over the United States. These companies bring people on fee for service who are independent practitioners, not employees. There are very few positions that are employees, and there's no way in hell anyone's convincing me that Dempsey D. Derell is a W-2 for any of these agencies. So Judge Bennett does not even realize that Dempsey D. Derell is violating the court order. He thinks he's going to be working with these three companies, with their clients, and that is not the case. So guess what, folks? I have experience with this. This is what I do for a living. This is a setup, and I know something about it because I've been doing it since 2007. It's the same all over the United States. He is not a W-2 employee for these entities. He is contracted, and he has to have his own setup and location. And if you think about it, you can't even provide services at home. In order to provide services at home, you got to follow the state law, and then the agency itself has to authorize that. In order to authorize that, there are several rules that have to be in place. You have to have a setup that gives the clients a private entry. They have to have a restroom, clients, to use that nobody else uses. And you have to verify this is a truly confidential setup where no one has access to hear the sessions. And let me tell you, folks, Dempsey is so disorganized. You really think he is going to set up a situation at home if he was to try to do therapy at home? And if he did do it at home, guarantee you he's not going to follow any of the rules. Guarantee you, whatever setup he has with these companies, he's not going to follow their rules. Okay, so what do we do? Because it can't be left as it is. So here's the plan. There's no way of knowing at this point in time whether Dempsey D. Derell has access to these three entities. Dempsey D. Derell was extremely abusive, irresponsible, and reckless when he ran up and down these YouTube streets swearing I was working 300 miles away from where I lived and harassed a district attorney's office, calling up there, telling all these lies, just trying to get everyone to believe I was in so much trouble. I wasn't going to give Dempsey D. Derell what he wanted, but I did make it very clear. There will come a day when, yet again, he will get back what he has tried to give to others. And here it has arrived. It arrived with the indictment. It arrived when he was disciplined by the board. It arrived when he lost contracts. It will continue to arrive. I said I will get my opportunity to deal with it. How many times did Dempsey D. Derell come in these YouTube streets, post all these addresses, all these names of places, telling people to call on me, on Rev G? How many times? And when I mention me and Rev G, I'm only focusing on the professional arena. He tried his damnedest to wreak havoc with me and Rev G and impact us professionally, but that doesn't even cover the surface, because what he did to others, anyone who was either supportive, who wouldn't attack us, even innocent bystanders. Dempsey D. Derell did the same damn thing, and we're never going to omit the fact that he paid flunkies, and even others took it upon themselves in effort to appease Dempsey D. Derell based on what he was insisting needed to be done. So he tried to get this going with me and Rev G and with so many others who didn't even know who the hell he was and thought it was so funny. It was a barrel of laughs. They could not get enough. So now I have the opportunity to counter what Dempsey D. Derell has done when he lied about me and Rev G. I'm here to tell the truth. And that's a route that I'm going to take. First things first, I need to figure out whether Dempsey D. Derell is still working at these places or is working at these places, because I'm not going to do what he did. I'm not going to be disruptive and abusive to these entities. I'm going to find out if he is still working there. And then I will deal with it from that standpoint. Dempsey ran live streams talking about how he had spoken to these people in the Ventura County District Attorney's Office. He came on again after the Social Security theft, claimed he knew every place where I was getting money from, and gave addresses and kept telling people to call. Did Dempsey not do that? Well, I'm about to do the same thing, but here's the difference. I'm going to be speaking the truth. The truth will be delivered. I'm not going to disrupt these agencies. I'm not going to make a spectacle out of it. Dempsey D. Derell did. Dempsey D. Derell made a spectacle out of trying to get me in trouble, trying to get Rev G in trouble, and he never came anywhere near achieving that goal because there was never any actionable conduct. Dempsey D. Derell can't say the same. The actionable conduct goes back 7 years. And as far as the court situation, Photon was saying, what can you do? You're not involved with the case. You can't do anything. Did I say I was going to be disruptive to the court? No, I never said that. Although there is a legal, legit way for me to intervene and request a judge listen to me, I can have a motion filed. I absolutely can. Whether the judge will hear it, that's another story, but I'm not going that route. And I'll tell you why I'm not going that route. Because the court has more than enough things to do. There are other ways I can handle this without bothering Judge Bennett. He's got more than enough work to do. I didn't say I wasn't going to contact that probation officer. That is an option. I'm tabling that for the time being. First, I'm going to find out if he's still connected with these entities. And if he is, you better believe I'm going to reach out with facts, unlike what Dumpsy D. Derell did. Lies for how many years, and even paid these subjects to spread lies, all kinds of lies, slander, and continuously came online posting demands to contact the Board of Behavioral Sciences about me over and over and over and over again. So if you didn't have a problem with that before, when Dumpsy D. Derell did it to me and Rev G, and when I say you, it's the you understood, whoever it applies to. If you didn't have a problem with what Dumpsy D. Derell was doing, you don't have a problem with it now. I ain't about to even hear what you gotta say. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I can guarantee you I will get success if he is working at these entities, because he should not be providing mental health care. Even if you put the indictment aside, all the other things he has done. I have a 33-minute compilation that has blown every mental health professional out of the water who is in decision-making position. Once that tape was played, I can use that. But of course, I'm going to mention the indictment. I'm going to give the truth. Just like Dumpsy D. Derell had no shame in the game, did not hesitate, went from A to Z, did the most, went way overboard with the slander targeting me and Rev G. In the professional world, I am going to use the same degree of energy, but at least I'm going to present the truth. I'm going to come back and give you an update, but first things first, need to find out if Dumpsy D. Derell is even working at these entities. If there's any attempt to stonewall this process, that will be the opportunity for me to engage the media. And the media would love to hear that somebody under a 9-count indictment is providing therapy services at these 3 locations, if that's what's happening. I have a backup plan for now. Leave that out. But rest assured, this will be dealt with. Whether Dumpsy D. Derell is working at 1, 2, or 3 of these entities, it's going to be addressed appropriately and promptly. I wanted to let you know the steps. And again, if you didn't have a problem with all the shit Dumpsy D. Derell did, paying people to lie, targeting me and Rev G and so many other innocent people, called Lennon Honor's job as well and paid his flunkies to do it. So many other things that Dumpsy D. Derell did to innocent people. I'm focusing primarily employment, contract, money making. I'm going to contain it. This is why I'm mentioning me and Rev G. He's done so many other things. The effort that Dumpsy D. Derell put in trying to destroy lies with lies. I'm matching it. I'm making sure the community is safe with the truth. I certainly will keep you posted every step of the way. In the meantime, never forget to heed the warning, buyer beware.